This is beyond perception, but it's all about breaking out of a limited understanding of oneself, of life, and to wake up to our human nature or true self and to our connectedness with all life. Yeah? I'm Simon Rilling, and my guests today are Angie and Wilson, originally from Malaysia. They're now living in Puerto Rico, where they are both co-founders of an 81 acres regenerative permaculture farm, the Regen, do I pronounce it right? Regen Bio Eco-Community.
Regen.
Oh,
It stands for regenerative. Yeah, Regen Bio Eco-Community. It's
okay.
REBAC.
Yeah, the Regen Bio Eco-Community. So it's a true pleasure to have you both here. Welcome, Angie and Wilson.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, Wilson is from Hong Kong.
Okay, so Angie from Malaysia and Wilson from Hong Kong, yeah?
And we met in Ohio when we studied.
Awesome, yeah. And I thought today, I believe it's 3 years ago that the three of us met for the first time at a Tony Robbins conference event, if that's right. And then we met again 2019 at the Biohacker Summit. And from my perspective, and I shared that with you, the both of you are very outside of the box thinkers, very, very curious, and that always impressed me. And I know that you are up for a very exciting, innovative project right now in Puerto Rico. And I mean, I have so many questions. I know we have a short period of time, so I would love you to share a bit of what you're doing right now and what's the uniqueness of it, and also why you're doing it.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about background and then what we're doing here and what we're going to do in the future. We always like to break things down into 3 simple steps, 3 to-do lists to work on a day. So basically work on 3 things because we are all very busy. And if we got our to-do list is too long, we won't be able to accomplish anything. So the past, we have been in real estate development, building and sales for the past 20 years. It's a mom and pop business, just my husband and I, and we hire subcontractor and couple employees to support us. Wilson have experience in development and license in 3 states, in California, mostly specialized in the earthquake, and Florida basically to deal with the high wind, the hurricane. And North Carolina is just our home that we have been building houses for since 1997. We also like to have fun. We don't just like to build and develop. We like to experience new things, and things evolve. Like water, if it's stagnant, it's dead. That's why you got that sea. Things that for us is everything has to flow through our mind, our spirit. It's very zen as well. So when the environment changes, something we couldn't control. What we can control is ourselves. So there's 3 stages of our mindset. There are things that politically, the weather, climax, oh my gosh. And just anything that's outside environment, we have no control over, but we can control ourselves. So that's 2 stages of mindset. And the third is every day is a magnificent day. So we make it a magical. So it's with us being able to control our mindset, we can create magical moments. So knowing these 3, back to our background, when we do development, I didn't even realize that I have developer friends say that has been observing me. I've been in real estate since 92. They say every 10 years looks like you are evolving. So I was in sales for 10 years and I said, my boss could have done this. My boss could have done that. I'm like, okay, I couldn't convince him to do it this way. So therefore, let me do it. So then get Wilson out of he's a computer engineer, get him out of corporate America. He used to work for Corning back in the 80s. That is before everyone had a cell phone in your hand, he was working on the fiber optics. And before that, he in Ohio, he working for a company called Owens Illinois, which is a glass company. At that time, they already designing the cell phone, that is the glass that we are using it today. So he's computer engineer, and back in the 80s already worked on things like that that today we're using it every day. So from working in the glass company to fiber optics, and then I was like, Wilson, you gotta come out and help me, because I was supposed to work for part-time as a woman. Raising 2 children is the most ultimate important task. That's again our belief. So I was thinking to work part-time in the morning. Put Erwin and Crystal. Erwin is one of the plat to daycare or to kindergarten, and then I can go to office to do some work, and then come home in the afternoon, pick them up 1 o'clock to have nap, and so on. So that was a plan. And the real estate is the easiest and more flexible way for me back in the early 90s. And then unfortunately, I was too good in what I did. I made 3 times more than my husband. And instead of a part-time job, it became 3 times of the work. After I quit my job and start my own company, my boss did say he had to hire 3 persons to replace me. So Wilson came out and take care of the children while I was working 3 times work of human beings performance. And he got bored and he said, well, let's build some houses and try out, because he's an engineer. He has an engineer background. That's how we started. And it looks like the pattern is every 10 years we evolve. And so from sales, working for developer, we became a builder. And then from there, we become, after like 2008, the whole economy meltdown, we look at ourselves is how can we compete with auction houses from, with banker? We won't be able to do that. And then we look at, we have been banking, we invest in land, we understand land. I always look for land for my builder. Without land, builder has nothing to build on. So it's a pipeline where we have to look for land to feed my clients. And so I always know land. I can look at land without looking at land. Means that I can, now today we have Google Earth, I can do a lot of research without have to go into the land. Land is something that people are accustomed to, hey, I can buy a lot to build a house on, but people don't look at land. So land, raw land is not competitive. Not competitive because not many people know how to look for land. So it's a skill. Mm-hmm. So for example, the land that we found, we haven't told anybody about the cost. But I decided, since you're the first one invite us to the podcast, it has to be something newsworthy. So we purchased this land, 80-some acre without looking at it, all through today's technology. And we're able to build 350 cabins through Airbnb to generate cash flow, 15,000 square feet of industrial building, and 5,000 square feet of commercial building, and also can raise chicken, raise cow, and so on and so forth, all in this precious land that come with waterfall and 2 creeks for 200,000. Imagine that.
The first thought is not possible, yeah?
Exactly. Even local realtor, many years of experience. And he was trying to sell me land, and those land was so expensive. There's like 2 point some million or 5 point some million. I say, hey, I'm sorry. You know how much I bought mine, and I told him the city that we live in, which is like 30 to 40 minutes drive, depends on traffic, from San Juan, south of San Juan. So it's like a first ring outside of the urban city, because you cannot have a farmland in the urban. You can't even find parking lots. So we have to go outside the city. And I told him the price. He said, this is impossible. We're local. How come we cannot even find it? Well, because most of the land that we look at is imperfect land. You know, imperfect is spelled as I-M-P-E-R-F-E-T. But if you put apostrophe is I am perfect. So it all depends on the mindset. To other people, it's imperfect.
So
like
what is the perceived imperfection?
The erosion, the land erosion. Because this land used to be 15 years. 15 years ago used to be a cow ranch, and it's never the cow. Cow is never a problem. It's human land management is a problem. So the runoff just kind of wash out the land, and the land got erosion of like 8 feet deep. So we know how to fix it. And like creeks, people look at creeks. Oh, how do you deal with the slope? We can use metal grid and build a deck out and overlook the creeks. That's water from waterfall. That's alkaline water. And that place you can do massage spa, medical spa, because the creek is not a barrier. The creek actually generates a lot of positive vibration and a lot of fresh air. So we look at it positive. So you have to see a piece of land that not through naked eyes. You have to see it from, I wouldn't say it's a spiritual eyes, but it's a conscious eyes. So when people look at this land, 80 some acre, there's no road. There's no more road. They say, how do you get in? You can't even buy, you cannot buy something that you cannot see. That is fear and no faith. But with today's technology, I can go to USDA and pull the history of this piece of land. And it was completely like a desert. And then I say, wow, what happened? And then found out that 15 years ago, it was a cow ranch. The cowboy did not, they know how to raise cow, but they do not know how to deal with the land. And from there, like as I said, last year, the government shut down, completely shut down. But it's perseverance. I believe Steve Jobs said it, is the ultimate gift of human being. A lot of people give up too easily and too fast. So it's very hard to deal with government, number one here, because of the corruption. You always have to hire consultant, which is, let's don't talk about politics, but it's not easy. Politics and religion would definitely turn off friends. So, that's not our purpose here. But we managed during the shutdown, we managed to get our farm license. We managed to rezone our land to become not just farmland, but it's a community. That's why we call it as a community. And name is very important. We want to be sure the name, a lot of time, beginning of the, so for a startup, we set up a mission, vision, and then forget about it. Check, call up Microsoft, employee or Apple or Facebook, ask them what is their mission statement. Check, company normally forget. So we want to be sure our company's name is what align us for our mission. So why Regen? So that's just, again, it's down to 3 stages of life: regenerative, sustainable, and degenerative. As we age, is degenerate. Every single day we are dying, our cells getting older. So if we do good health management, that means we are only sustainment. But that's still a basic goal. Sustain is a basic goal. But the ultimate goal is to regen. So if I eat a papaya, inside the papaya has over 100 seeds, we have to plant them. That's regenerated. Did you get it?
Yeah.
So we have raised in today's 21st century, we have raised to be a consumer. I eat, but papaya, somebody eat papaya and the papaya seed will all throw away, not feeding chicken, or not replanting. So the earth overall is degenerate. If everyone do our part, we will have a regenerative environment. So we couldn't control other people. We'll be glad to influence, able to influence people. On my Facebook, the past couple of years, if you see what I put in, nothing to do with farming, not much. Not much about ROI, how to generate income. It will come. So people has been asking, what have you been growing for the last year? We have been growing soil. We have to grow soil first. That's the first step. Without proper soil, nothing grow well.
Soil or soy?
Soil, S-O-I-L. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Without proper soil, you couldn't grow well. You cannot spray chemical. All the fertilizer right now are chemical. They're petroleum based.
Yeah.
They kill the microbacteria on the soil. So you have to have a land has rested for minimum 8 years to able to qualify with a USDA certification. So that takes 8 years to heal a land. So the best way to buy a good farmland is not from a farm, because a lot of time a previous owner might have sprayed pesticides, spray a lot of insecticides, monoculture. So don't think about buying a farm. Think about buying a land. The best is forest. Then you can have food forest. Every single day I discover different plants on my land, and then I post it to share. One is to share with other people the biodiversity of our farm, of our land. We can call it a farm, we can call it a food forest, we can call it rainforest, all is basically, remember, we need to create and improve a property that we invest in, minimum 10 times, not using chemical. And do it the way God does. God created this earth like Garden of Eden without using all this chemical spray. So that's a saying that in the West, there's a saying that say prostitution is the first, the oldest career or older something, prostitution, the oldest occupation. It's just wrong. It's gardener. Think about the Garden of Eden. That's the first occupation. It's beautiful. Just a wrong thinking and wrong word make us think differently. The oldest occupation is agriculture. So after you go through the whole journey of searching, you will end up, if you truly search, you'll end up become a farmer or gardener. Isn't that beautiful? So the important thing is we have to create Garden of Eden, and we won't be able, but we will try. So the whole community is called Regen Bio, Bio's life. Eco remind us that it has to be ecologically balanced. And community, this is not just us. This is a community that will share by different farmers or somebody that want to be a farmer. For example, we don't believe in nonprofit organization because most of the nonprofit organizations, we have one set up. And but most of the nonprofit organizations, 75% of the founders spend the time in fundraising and forgot about the organization's purpose. Mm-hmm. So we try to make it as a social enterprising, which means this is our playground, because farming is so diverse. You can raise cow, you can have chicken, you can have cannabis, and that's what we grow. We want to be sure our model is our products, our goods that we produce. We're going to use Costco as an example. Costco is famous of the organic produce. Mm-hmm. We have Costco here in Puerto Rico. We want to be sure we sell at Costco's price, because Costco is a wholesale price. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Organic produce shouldn't be higher. Mm-hmm. The reason they cost higher is they make it very difficult to grow. And there's a lot of regulation to meet. So we want to be sure we have an environment that people come, they understand, and they believe. USDA actually is a lower standard. We have to have some kind of structure and guideline, but that is a lower standard, because USDA, they allow a lot of people to spray chemical. Biodynamic actually is higher, and permaculture is higher than USDA standard. But majority of the consumer are not aware of that. I was one of them. But as you travel the journey, you know that is just a guideline and awareness. They have done a lot of awareness. That's the very famous brand in the world. However, there are something higher. Permaculture, the spelling permaculture is permanent culture. It's not short term. So trees that we plant is long term. And it will keep, if the government doesn't come and spray from the airplane insecticides, it wouldn't affect our community. I be sure I go to the government, the local government, and then to protect us not to spray. If they spray and we found out, we can sue them. Mm-hmm. So I actually registered last year that with the municipal party that don't come and spray on our land. Even it's free. Don't spray mosquito. It shouldn't have mosquito if we properly manage. No retake. All water has to flow, not status. So not static. So these are the principles that we apply every single day. So the standard is much higher than USDA. And the Department of Agriculture found out that we are cannabis license holder, a cultivator licensee of 68. That's our license number. But we are the first one that grow organic cannabis. Everyone is telling us, including the experienced grower here, they say, it's impossible. It's impossible. I say, I know, but I'm possible. I just changed that apostrophe. And I say, I'm possible. With God, everything's possible. I want to do in our creator's way. I don't want to grow cannabis inside a container, because it's not natural. We have 360 days here in Puerto Rico with sunshine. Why everything grow? The soil is with volcano soil. Why do we have to grow inside a man-made container? It's not natural. So it costs more for electricity, it costs more for maintenance, and so on and so forth. There are times that we need to grow things in the container. For example, mushroom. We're going to grow mushroom too. Anything that is healing, we grow. We believe in healer plants. Again, human is a problem. In cannabis, there is no 98% or 100% THC. It's man-made, it's lab produce, isolated to make it 100%. How our creator create this magnesium plant, maximum is about 35 to 38% THC. If you take 100%, it messes up your brain because that's not what designed by our creator. And mushroom is like we Asian, we eat mushroom for 5,000 years. Now the West is awakening up about the mushroom, the magic mushroom and so on and so forth. Everything is about balance. If it's not balanced, it actually can harm you. So we are going to grow those medicinal plants. And that's what we're going to generate income. And the rest is basically is a support system. We think that it's a human right that should be able to eat healthy eggs, healthy chicken, healthy cow. So we create our mission of our farm is very simple. It's a healing place for plants, animal, and human. It's a healing place. It's not just animal, and we're open. Actually, we rezone our land to become an agritourism zoning, which means we can charge people to pay for our employee to educate the public when they want to come. And the people that we like to hire are people that children have mental, you can call it disability, or you can call it ability. They have extreme ability that we might not be connected. I'm talking to a 13-year-old youth right now. His father is very concerned about he won't be able to get a job because of so-called the society say that he has mental retardation. But I look at it, he's so focused and he can do, he's not on Facebook all the time, or he's not thinking about changing job every 7 months, So we actually exploring possibility of partnership I'm exploring his gift right now to see whether he's good in aquaponic or he's good in planting flower. His father actually import flower like roses and stuff like that from Colombia, from South America, and then his father do flower arrangement. I said, why import? Why not grow it here? They say, well, that's just the way we do. So 95% of the produce in Puerto Rico are import.
No way, is it? Yeah.
95%.
Wow.
So for us, we been Tony Robbins for a year, and then after that we attended Singularity University. Singularity University set a standard for us is everything has to be 10x. Everything has to be disruptive. Everything we do as a leader, if we call ourselves a leader, we got to do more than what a normal standard the people do. We have to do beyond standard. So that is our guideline. So for us, is we don't just want to hire people. We want to be, we don't want to call it a fair trade, but it's fair trade. We want to be sure we somehow can arrange into a partnership through their parents because they are youth. The parents able to protect their interests and supervise them and help me. We have land, we open up, we say, we're not going to charge you for rental. You tell us what you need. We come up with a capital, we set up an environment, a platform that they can come to our community. That's why we didn't call it a farm. We call it a community that we're able to have a place to heal so-called medical industry call them as a handicap. But we want to be able to provide them with a platform, not through donation, but to help them with a skill that they can be their own entrepreneur. Now, if you look at the development, like let's say a mall or let's say a bigger, bigger development. Normally they do have a mall like Costco or Sam or whatnot in the corner to anchor the community.
Mm-hmm.
We're using farm as an anchor for the community because we can have 350 homes here instead of golf course. Golf course is a degenerative project. You constantly have to maintain a beautiful grass, and that's not natural. And it's only serve the rich, but everybody eat. Not everybody play golf. So a farm as an anchor project make more sense. But that we have this vision perhaps 6-8 years ago, but we never really imagine something like COVID-19 that can happen. Grocery store can only keep 2 weeks of inventory. That's it. That's why you saw why people in a rush to go. Hey, if you come to my farm today, I have banana. Next month, I might have coconut. So
are you completely self-sufficient with the project? Like electricity, water, food?
Yes. And now it's important to find a land have water, but some, like we are lucky that we know that this land through Google Earth, we saw the concave of the earth. You know there's creek because it's not flat land. And so there's another thing people don't see. They say, most of the farmer want flat land. We actually like hill. If a terrains, you can have water. You will have water, mountain water. So we're gonna generate electricity from hydro electricity, but at the meantime that take longer because we still haven't able to access to the waterfall easily at this moment. So Wilson is setting up solar energy right now. We have 360 days sunshine here. And so looking for a warm climax location was one of the to-do list, a checklist. So, at the end, we end up here. So yes, we do have, it's a tax haven. This is Caribbean. So we have no federal tax, no state tax, no personal tax, no capital gain tax, except 4% corporate tax. So that is the icing on the cherry. Even without that, we still will want to move here because of the sustainable environment it provides. We can grow, if in Colorado, they can grow 1 crop of cannabis, we can grow 3 to 4 outdoor. So that's 3 to 4 times more. Let's say 3 times. Let's say we don't want to be so aggressive.
Because the climate and the soil is that much more like
exactly.
Rich,
yeah, you just throw any seed, it grows. It grows any seed, and it grows so fast that we have to have cow, we have to have goats, and we haven't even got to there yet because we do a lot of things that is behind the scene right now, like all the proper license. Like we have free water because of the creek and the spring water. Spring water pop out from under the ground. So all the water is controlled by the government, is owned by the government. So we have to take a franchising fee. We have to get a franchise license to get the water. And the franchise fee is only $200. Is that per year or for life? One time.
One time.
One time, $200. And then the water is free forever. Now that is regenerated. We can even bottle water if we want to. That's an income stream. There's so many income streams when it comes to a forest, not an urban land. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. This is our chapter 2. People did ask us, what is a return on investment? You can't even say 10x. It's infinity. The water keeps flowing out. That's infinity.
Yeah, we can actually generate income from
and
the water.
it's very interesting. Just a week ago or a week and a half ago, we have 6 cows show up.
I saw the pictures, yeah.
Those cows worth between 10 to 20,000. They are specially bred cow. I had people text me, say this cow, the white one, is called Zebu, Z-E-B-U. The significance of that design of the cow is it has a hump. This from India, and it's good for farming. I'm like, wow. We did not grow, we did not raise them. They just came because we have a lot of food. In the farm, this is a forest. They perhaps have been here way before us. Perhaps 15 years ago, the cow ranger left with some baby cow they did not know. And end up, this is their home. They were so calm, came up to us. We also have to put a chain link fence. Electric fence is not to control the cow, it's to control our crop that they don't cross over. So we actually live inside a fence, not them. It's all, we didn't have the intention. We just like, we have to protect our crop. So we now like live like in safari. And we actually have to protect us and then let the animal run wild, except the 4 pigs and the 4 chicken, because they're too young. This was, we have a pig problem in Puerto Rico. The pigs run wild. Somehow they just got out of people's home because they raise them like a pet, like pot belly pet. And sometimes they just grow up with not being a pot belly pet. They couldn't contain them. They just let them run wild. They do not know where to go. So some people know us that we have farm. They say, could you take them? I say, sure, we'll take them. You know, we take whatever the nature flow to us. We don't turn down, except we don't take snake, we don't scorpion, and be sure you meet our ecological balance formula. We don't want the whole farm become a pig farm, or whole farm become a cow farm. But we don't pursue them either. They just, when they come, they come. Because when we set up environment this healthy, they will come.
Interesting. And
so then I found out there's a law. I put it up on the Facebook. So somebody said, you need to call the police. You need to find the owner, because what else they can come and say you steal their cow. I'm like, okay. So they told me the law. The law is I have to report it to the police for 30 days. Once I record it, after 30 days, it's mine. So those cow has no tag, no chip. So we think they are still here. We are not sure.
Oh yeah, they're here.
They're here. Yeah, we can still see the footprint, but they are here. We don't manage them. This is their home. We actually invade them. So I reported to the government. I called the police. The police said, call the animal control. I called the animal control. He came and showed up, and he said, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. I would like to live here too. And I say, well, we have made a commitment. We don't spray them. So perhaps there will be more cows coming. There'll be more wild chicken coming. I don't know, but we do start accepting them. So he said, so you become a rescue sanctuary. I say, okay, we're fine. If you want to call it this way. Then he said, by the way, animal control, we constantly get call from family that they have wild bees out, you know, in their house or porch or something. He said, we do not know where to put them, because when we try to save them, we do not know. We have to put them in the farm, but most of the farms spray chemical. And can we put them here? I say, yes, but do I have to go and catch wild bee? Because I do not know how to do it. He said, no. We in our animal control, we have special officer that catch different things. And that is government money, government salary. So I said, so what do I have to do to prepare for you guys? Because when they have somebody call SOS for help, they call me and I immediately have to be ready. And they say, well, you just provide us a beehive and that will work. And then we will deliver beehive here in Puerto Rico sell between 300 to 350, more expensive than cow. And 85% of the bees blown away by Hurricane Maria. So we have a disaster here. It's not enough bees. As you know, no bees, no food. So now instead of a farm, we now, as of last week, February 24th, we have registered as a rescue sanctuary.
Congratulations. That sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah. So we constantly evolve. We evolve according to what the environment needs. We can control our environment, but we cannot control the government. But the government now saw, we work with the government, report to them, but the government saw what we have now is going to be, they're going to send pigs here, they're going to send chicken or duck. Isn't that amazing? That is regenerative.
It's super, super cool. And one of the questions I have is, I know you described what you're doing, like even with that you're looking at energy frequency vibration, like citing Tesla I think on one of your Facebook posts. So I'm like, how did you learn to approach creating with nature? Was that something you studied, or you spent a lot of time? What did you study?
People ask me too. I would say it's curiosity. I love to learn. I love to learn stuff. I observe. Wilson stuff that could. I might be the one that have an ADHD. I don't know. I just love to learn. And right now, I told Wilson that I feel like, I said, Wilson, we gotta watch the Toy Story. You said Toy Story? No.
Bugs Life.
Bugs Life. We just rewatched the Bugs Life. I spent so much time in observing our pigs, the nature, and they're so small. I have to basically, squat down or sit down on the floor to get to know from their point of view. It's like Bugs Life. Go and watch that movie. It's so interesting. Once you see from their viewpoint, you will know what to do. That's one. And number two, I have Google. Like for example, I saw a coconut tree, and it's a short one, and it has like 100 coconuts on this tree. I have to check the owner. I say, can I buy a coconut? He said, not for sale. And I say, everything's for sale. Just give me the price. Everything's for sale. I want it. And he said, why do you want it? I say, because I'm short. I need to have a short coconut, and short coconut tree. And after a month, he said, okay, we decided to sell to you. I said, how much? $1 a piece. I said, wow, listen, if I have to buy a coconut for drink, it's $4. To buy a seed is $1. Next time, I just tell all the farmer I want to buy a seed because I can drink the juice if I wanted to. But that particular one, I really need to plant. And then, so this is something I want, right? Then I have to know how many feet apart to grow. So I Googled it, 15 feet spacing, So I learned starting from something I want or something that I'm curious. And then Google is my friend. It's actually my very good teacher. I learned everything from Google. So I know avocado, you have to have between 10 feet spacing. I do not know all this last year. So that's called regenerative thinking. You constantly learn. So it won't be bored. I'm bored easily. So yesterday, somebody, an old friend of mine in Miami, contacted me and say, hey, I saw you're doing new things. I said, I will always do new things. She said, why? I said, I'm bored all the time. And she said, that's a sign of intelligence. I said, I know. I told my husband that he doesn't believe me. So again, it depends on how you see it, you know? Yeah. But getting the kids that are getting bored at school, the school will want to have them take medicine and to slow them down. Our son, I think in elementary school, the school say that he got ADHD, hyperactive. I want to put him into drugs. I said, no way. He's just a curious kid. He's just active. We just need to get him out more, explore things. You know, we travel the world as Erwin. Instead of choose drug is the easiest route. For us to just hang the drugs to the kid is a lot more work to learn new things.
Yeah. Or send to a Waldorf school.
Yeah. So after Erwin got into the boarding school, he turns out to be number one in his high school. We have a system here, 4 years of high school, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he asked me, he loved me. I know, he just doesn't know how to show love, but he loves me. We butt head all the time. He loves me and he say, Mom, what would you like for your birthday gift? Like, I forgot what year now. I say, all A's, all A's. So it would be much easier if I tell him that I want a bouquet of flower. I say all A, he has to work whole year. And he really excelled because that was his goal, to get me all A's to please me. You know, Tony say, who do you crave your love from? From the parents. He came to me and said, Mom, it's you. Because he always tried to please me, but he never really know how to show love and affection, which is a lot of people have this problem. Me too. So he became, you know, remember the school tried to give him drugs. But because he tried to give me his love is very powerful. He became number one in his school in terms of study. So he got chosen to go to a boarding school for his 11th and 12th grade. Absolutely free, room and board school. And once you graduate from the boarding school, I think it's number 1 and number 2 of the whole United States, you will automatically get a 4-year scholarship. So both of our children go through that pathway just because they love me. But after they went to the school system, I realized that they lack of compassion. The school system make them to be number 1. Excellence in report card. But they lack of compassion, lack of curiosity. They just go through like a factory production system. So I start asking around. Our son was our first son, was our guinea pig, because we really do not, we are the first immigrants generation here in United States. And so we put our son into what was the first
Montessori school.
Montessori school. Whole year he does nothing except drawing and coloring basically. And after a year, I said, ask the teacher, what happened? Why do you don't teach alphabet? And she said, oh, Montessori school is no structure. We let the kids learn what they can. I said, gee, that didn't work. That didn't work for the Asian mindset. We got to have structure. So I asked around friends, and we learn from friends. And so I look at the parents that the children graduate to Stanford. I'm like, this is the parents we need to learn from. So I asked Susan and Dr. Chen, they are the typical Asian family. They said, put them in Christian school. There's a lot of structure. I said, but we're not Christian. We're free thinker. They said, just put them there because they have discipline. So we put them there. and they learn about God, and they want to go to church every year, every Sunday. We say, no, we're not Christian. We don't want to go. And then Erwin's best friend's parents sent them to church every Sunday for 5 years. We were like, whoa, what kind of human being these people are? Every Sunday, pick them up at 8 a.m. We were still in our pajamas. It's unbelievable. It's a belief and love. It's so powerful that you can make human beings do unthinkable things. That's our observation.
Mm-hmm.
And so our children start praying for us to hope that we encounter our Creator, and we did. So to make the story short, it took us 40 years to encounter our Creator. And then after the elementary school, when go to middle school, my friends say, okay, it's time to send them to public school because you cannot put your children in a private school environment for way too long because it's not competitive. The structure foundation needs to build is already built in the elementary school. So middle school, we enroll them to the best public school. We move to the area that can go to public school. And our son Erwin's one of the plan, and he said, Mom, he was afraid. He said, Mom, all the public school students have gun. I'm afraid. So that's a brainwash of the Christian school. And I say, Erwin, we will still reserve your seat in the school. We will still pay for the school fee, even though you don't attend, but you need to go to public school. Try for 2 weeks. If you don't, go back to the private school. And he went, and my gosh, he saw girls wearing short skirt and very interesting. And that was it. It only take him a week. It didn't have to take 2 weeks, and that was it. But then, so he was in a public school for middle school, which is fifth, anyway, I go back to how many years was in a public school. Then the boarding school. So that's a changing point was realize that the boarding school doesn't teach much. Our car's getting hot in Puerto Rico. It's raining. It's rainforest.
Yep.
And that's where I asked around again, and people say you need to check Waldorf school. Waldorf school is from Europe.
I think it's from Germany, actually.
Exactly. Exactly. So we found a Waldorf school next, pretty close to Erwin's boarding school in Chapel Hill. Erwin studied, the boarding school is in Durham. We live in Wilmington. It's a 2 hours drive. So we actually enroll ourselves in an adult school, a Waldorf school. And that's where we learn things that we didn't anticipate. Like
I didn't know that exists even for adults, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Biodynamic
farming is from Waldorf school. So again, we wasn't looking to train us. We went there to learn more about the system, and then found out that it's a pathway, a 2 years pathway is to become a Waldorf teacher. You see, there's no school for adult, but there is a school to learn to teach teacher, to train teacher. So we actually go to that route, and then found out they call it as an adult school, but there's no technically doesn't have an adult school for adult to go there to learn something. It's more of the pathway is learn to be a teacher. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, so again, it's caused by the curiosity. The source of our journey, the pathway is all about it's something that drives us. How can we provide our children a better education system? How do we supplement it? Majority of Asian think this way. that we don't rely teacher and we don't blame teacher. If the children didn't turn out well, we blame ourselves. The father supposed to be the teacher. If anything go wrong, it's father's fault. That's how Asian believe. You ask any Chinese, we have a saying. If anything, any children goes wrong, it's father's fault.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a saying. I don't want to say it here. But Wilson's always busy in his career. So I tend to be the teacher for the family. And with that Waldorf school experience and journey, actually, we didn't even tell people that we learned from Waldorf, because they teach us things that is so outside of the box.
I mean, here, to give you a perspective, in Germany, when I was in school, we were laughing about the people in the Waldorf school. They're like, oh,
yes,
they're just dancing their names and they're crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
But over the last years, my perspective changed a little bit. Yeah. So.
Yes. It's only somehow, we just do what we do without come up with a name, without come up with a brand. I actually, on our community Facebook, I put permaculture because it's more acceptable to the people. I didn't even want to talk about biodynamic. I don't want to talk about Waldorf school. Out of a blue, couple months ago, James Williamson, another friend of ours, said, Angie, do you know biodynamic farming? I said, I do. 12. He said, how did you know? I said, we entered the school, we learned 12 years ago. He said, what? I said, yeah. I said, wow, James Williamson, what happened? He said, he watched a movie. He called The Little Big Farm. It's about biodynamics.
Is it? Yeah.
And he said he's very inspired by it. And somehow, I'm not sure what happened. He connect what I do to biodynamics. James, if you got it, the world got it. Let me go back to my Facebook or our project, and I start added the word to the biodynamics. We know that we travel way beyond, much farther than what the convention. And I don't want to spend too much time in explaining to people what is biodynamic. The best way to tell a story is to use our farm to do it. And when people see it, they will create curiosity, like you call, like James call. It's not a lot of people call, but both of you call that, so it creates the curiosity because it's beautiful. The journey is beautiful. We don't have to teach like chapter 1, chapter 2. It's you see the products of biodynamics here in our farm.
So I have a question, because also I'm personally, I'm like, I have no clue. I have no experience. I've never did any farming other than having a few flowers on my balcony. But I increasingly love the idea of moving into nature, and then also
it's a journey.
Kind of live with nature. To not like right now I'm abusing nature. Like I'm using more resources than I contribute back. Like
exactly.
I'm very aware of that, and I want to change that. And I want to. And I have the intention to buy some land and then to figure out how I can live with nature, and so that I contribute something, or that also maybe other people benefit from it. But the problem is, like right now, other than an intention, I don't really have a lot of clue about it. What would be your advice or idea? And also I think, or I personally feel that more and more people are kind of like looking or considering like such a thing. And what would you say is a good way to approach something like that? And also the other question is, how much land do you actually need to be able to that the family can live from it, like self-sustaining? Like, does it need to be huge or big, or like
you can do them with 1 acre. You can produce income about 50 to 60,000 from living on 1 acre, but it's definitely not permaculture. Permaculture, biodynamic need more land. But if you want to squeeze everything in, 1 acre is good enough. Just be sure it's not monocrop. Be sure it's polycrop. You are not the only one that asked me this question. I've been thinking about it. I actually, one of the James Williamson friends just called me last week and see whether can come to my place to intern. I actually turned her down. She might not know yet, but mentally I have turned her down. People do think that volunteer, we all want free labor. Actually, it's not. It takes resources to teach. If you do greet everyone with respect, you have to teach. Interns are not supposed to be just free labor. So for one-to-one, it's very time consuming on my time. And so she doesn't know yet. She thinks it's, who can reject free labor. So I told Wilson, we brainstormed a little and came out to be everything we do has to be the standard of Singularity University. It has to be 10x. So if I invest my time, it has to be 10 people benefit from it, minimum. So to do it, and I got called from different, different plant group, we are all over the world. So I think the way to do it would be like a class, like a virtual class. I actually really not liking Zoom. I love human touch because you can see and feel what they need versus just screen, because it's hard, it's one-way communication. When you're with them hands-on, they will see from the butt's life, they squat down to see how the chicken. Why do we go out to buy 4 little chicken? Why not big chicken? Because our pig was small. So we have to find the right size of companion to them. Not just go out to buy chicken, but buy little chicks. It is unbelievable expensive. It's $3 a little chick. And I can buy a roast chicken from Costco for $4.95. Roast chicken, barbecue chicken.
That says everything about the quality of the life of this chicken. No?
Exactly. So we invested in 4 little chicks, not because it's expensive or different philosophy. It's because the companion animal needs to be with the pig. Why do we buy chicken right away? It's because the pig is a mess. When they eat, it's a mess. When they root, the gut worm come out. And because it's a mess and it's wet, and so the worms got attracted. So it's so that become a food for the chick. And the chicken also eat the leftover of the pig's food. And we have a formula, like my dog, our dog, rescue dog, 2 rescue dogs. We don't feed them dog food. So when I did feed them dog, if we feed them human food, my food, organic food, bones, it's not rubble things that look like bone. It's a real bone. Our dog loves it. So people look at us, it's like, your dog is going to be sick. I say, no, my dog become a hunter. My dog hunt iguana. So I prepare 50% of his food, of their food. 50% they have to find from the farm themselves. Let the dog be the dog. So now this dog that we rescue, such a good hunter. We have one guarding dog, follow Wilson everywhere. Even though Wilson parked the truck and then home overnight, the first thing we come to the farm, he was next to the truck. So it's a different DNA. Dogs is not all created equally. One happened, both are rescue. And one DNA is a guarding dog. One is a hunter. So the hunter cannot be too close to our little pigs. But the guarding dog can, because we grow them in our farm, so we can have other animals, predator to attack them at night. So is our animals is protect each other. And I know that I'm a TEDx curator, trained curator 8 years ago. So I talked to you at the very beginning that we need to restrict to about 18 minutes. We are way over 18 minutes because the attention span of today's human being are very short.
No, I can say something. This year is the exception because it's so fascinating listening to you both, sharing your experience. I'm sure this is the exception today with a very long attention.
Okay, I just, we're in our car, and I just want to let you know I'm consciously checking on the clock, but I also know that I want to honor you, Simon. Like when you call on me, I say anytime, any day. Yeah. Because I do know that people are awakening, and they do not know where to start. Start from within. Start from curiosity. Start from the desire. Start from what you want to achieve, and then go from there.
Yeah. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Wilson, for taking this time to share this information, your wisdom, your experience with us. And I'm sure whoever is listening to this will be amazed and intrigued to find out more. And I will add information about where people can find you to the show notes of this podcast.
Sure.
Once again, thank you from my side, and I'm very appreciative of your time. And I know you said like I don't have a lot of time, but you kept talking, and it was really interesting to listen. So I didn't want to interrupt it. In any case, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Simon. One last thing. We met in one of the plague trip, and just the same as we met many people, and we don't remember after we left each other from that whatever seminar. And I remember, I have pretty good memory. And I remember you text me one day and you say, either in your dream or your soul or your spirit, say that you're gonna work with me one day. That was before you left your job. And I was like, whoa, who is this guy? Where is he from? That created curiosity. I want to check you out. And people don't just out of the blue and say, I want to work with you. I know I'm going to work with you. And time to us is like eternal. Who knows? It's God's timing. It's whatever timing, I don't know. So it's very interesting. You don't simply call me. You call me, always put me to think about, wow, it's always like a wow moment. Like, you text me first time, you say we're going to work together. And then you text me about, I don't say sharing things on Facebook, I say text me personally that you ask me about the the COVID-19. And then this is the third time you text me to see, can we have a podcast? I'm very conscious about it. I can never say no that a person like you that call, because you live with intention. You live your life, demonstrate you live with purpose. It might be evolved. It doesn't matter. You might quit this job. You might move to another land. That's life. Life shouldn't be stagnant. So I'm always ready. When you call me, you go back to the text. So you say you want to be include Dr. Tennant. I say, yeah, sure. So this is Scott. Call him. If it doesn't happen, doesn't matter. You still want to talk with us? That's okay too. Yeah, I always say what time, what day, at your convenience. It's just at the time, you didn't know Puerto Rico doesn't change time like the whole crazy America. And I forgot to tell you. I thought you were good to Google it.
Yeah, I thought I had checked it out, but I confused it there.
Yeah, but that's fine. So this is the third time that you have approached me, directly. I honor that. And I thank you for this opportunity and privilege. Doesn't know what we have earned, how we earn it, but we do feel special to be able to have a thought sharing, idea sharing with you. And I know from here, you're gonna broadcast it, podcast it, or broadcast it that will benefit more people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, we've met a few times and was always very inspiring, interesting, and a lot of out of the box thinking, and also this conversation now. Thank you so much.